This is WOMM-LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. This is a Rocket Shop. Good evening. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is REDadmiral. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Tom. Hello, Burlington.
How are we all to this evening?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Enjoying the stormy weather?
Yeah. Yeah, good storm.
Yeah.
Like that. We need the rain, actually.
Some solid thunder and lightning earlier.
Even a little hail.
Even a little hail. Wow, I didn't see that. I'm glad I was well out of it. We like kicking it off with a song. So what you guys got to start us off with?
Songs, we're going to do Layer Dust, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Lay down a layer of dust, my darling. Lay down a layer of dust. Who can you trust when the world is gone bust? Lay down a layer of dust. Echoes bouncing off of the ceiling. Shackle your irons to rust. Snug as the bug, roll up the rug and borrow from your savings and love.
Layer of Dust by REDadmiral there. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Would you like to go around and introduce yourselves and let people know what you're playing this evening?
Yeah.
Sure, man. I'll go first. I'm Gordon. I play this brass resonator guitar. And I have jingly stuff on my feet, and I sing.
That's an apt description. All right. I'm Sam. This is Ampeg baby bass I'm trying to hold down here. And that's pretty much all I do. I try to do the harmony vocals when I can, but there's a weird disconnect between playing this thing and trying to sing at the same time.
You got your hands full.
Hi, I'm John. I'm choking on my iced coffee. I play lead guitar and sing harmonies.
Nice. And you've been in the studio about 2 years ago. You came into Big Heavy World. It's good to see you back again. Tell the people who didn't listen to you last time a little bit about your background, your history, your origin story. How did you guys come together?
Wow. I moved to Vermont in '08, and I had played in bands. I was previously in Baltimore for 17 years, and I needed to have a band. And I was looking around and trying to meet people, and Sam was actually, if I'm not mistaken, he was coaching youth basketball.
That's
and
it.
I was chatting him up, and I don't know how it came up right away that he had a stand-up bass. And that was one of the things I wanted to do, basically what we're doing right now. I was like, I want to find a stand-up bass player. And so it was like our first conversation. It came up, and I was like, we should get together. So that was a huge linchpin. I think, I can't remember if it was before or after. No, I was already playing with you, right?
Yeah, actually, we had an interesting start in that we were an electric band.
Yeah.
Actually, a really heavy electric band before we switched to acoustics. Part of the reason we switched to acoustics was our original drummer got another job in Pittsburgh, moved out, and we found ourselves without a drummer.
Triofied without
we
a
were
drummer.
practicing with our acoustics, like, this kind of sounds good.
Yeah.
And then we brought on Ed Hall, who's not with us here tonight, just because he's down in New Hampshire on work. And he plays all kinds of funky percussion now with us. So we decided to switch it up to acoustic. Kind of a lot of the same material, but it's just, if you listen to our first album, it's a heavy, grungy sound, and we have our second album coming out on Saturday. There's actually, one song that's on both albums?
Yeah.
So you hear an acoustic, an unplugged version, well, kind of unplugged,
Yeah.
acoustic instrument
Half
version
plugged.
and electric version of the same song. So it's kind of fun.
Nice. So you say you got your second album coming out, which I did know came out at the start of the month. Is that right?
This Saturday.
It's coming out Saturday.
Yep.
All right. Called Decimal.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
When was the last album out, though?
Oh, gosh.
Good question.
What did we
You know,
say?
dates?
2015, I think.
15 maybe?
2015, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been a few years, and really the band is kind of morphed into something different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's okay.
So yeah, just tell me a little bit more about this transition between electric and this acoustics setup you got now. How did that happen? Apart from just losing your drummer and gaining a percussionist, was it kind of a conscious effort, or did it kind of just morph into this without you kind of realizing? And one day you wake up and you realize you're entirely different.
I'm going to say it was pretty intentional.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I want to backtrack and say about when I met John. We were just talking about this. John's an audio engineer and like a longtime audiophile and professional. So when we started playing together, it just was like he was a killer electric guitar player, and we had a drummer, and so we were off to the races right away. We all kind of knew how to. We just fell into that. It was natural and easy because we'd all been doing that, and I wanted to do something like this for a long time, and so when Chris left on work, I was like, let's try this out, and we did it for a while without any other extra percussion, just the three of us, and then we started to kind of slowly reintroducing, like strip down and then build back up. So we got like, less is more, and then kind of started bringing stuff back in.
Interesting.
It was also just a practical. I mean, my background, I love playing acoustic. I've always loved playing acoustic. But, with the full band, with Ed here, we have 11 kids between all of us. We got kind of tired of waiting around to go on stage at 12:30.
Oh yeah, right.
This opened up a whole world of playing like gigs and getting home by 9 or 10. Like, it was civilized.
So
we went on a brewery. We've been on a brewery. We used to be back when you could do that thing, but we played every month breweries around Vermont, and they have nice, reasonable slots, and they actually pay you, so it was great.
Yeah, it wound up
Both
being
worlds.
a boon for that. Yeah, like we actually, this arrangement we play a lot more frequently. We were on a streak for at least once a month for more than a year.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
almost
which
2
is,
years.
like way
just
more
shy
than
of
we
2
were playing
years.
before.
Also, the advantage of breweries is, there's a brewery there.
Yeah,
Yes, for sure.
there are perks.
Um,
And it's easy to get people to come out too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: like when you get to be a grown person and you're not, like 15 to 20, and if you're going on at midnight, like nobody I know is gonna. It doesn't matter how good you are. It's like, yeah, when you go on, 1.
Yeah.
Okay, have fun. Have fun. Well, let us know how it goes. It's really hard to get people to come out.
Unless you're playing Coachella, you've got no chance.
Right, but that's not Vermont. That's not like if you're living in Vermont, it's like people are not coming out. You know, well, it's not that they're not coming out, but like my friends and our friends.
It's
like
a tough
really hard to
ask.
get
Yeah.
tough sell.
Yeah, it's a tough sell.
It's hard.
So you guys are named, if I'm correct, you guys are named after a butterfly. Is that
Yeah,
is
that's
that right? I
Com-
googled
common
REDadmiral.
species, common species butterfly,
Uh-huh.
seasonal traveler that comes through Vermont every year.
Was it what inspired? Was it just one of you saw it one day, or has you got an insect aficionado?
Naming,
Bugatarian.
it's like it's kind of like naming a kid. Like if there's ultimate veto power. Like if any name, it has to be unanimous, right? So it's like 4 people coming up with a name. It's like anybody who says no, then it's just dead. You're like, so you just cycle through all these names, and so eventually that one was one that everybody was like, no,
And
that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
everyone had like kind of. We never talked about it, but you kind of had like one veto.
Yeah.
I know I used mine.
I'm curious.
Nick, the other bass player, the first bass player,
Yeah.
for one gig, remember?
Yeah.
Nick, he vetoed one.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, naming a band is quite a process.
There's a graveyard of what I think are cool names, but and then there's certain things like it has to pass. Like one of my criteria is I call it the what'd you say factor. Like if you say the name and people ask you to repeat it because they don't understand it, that's out. You know. So we found that it passed that test. Like when you say REDadmiral, people are like, got it. You know, like
It's in.
You can hear it, you can understand it.
John, I'm curious. What was your veto for? What was the
you remember?
the rejected?
Yank.
Yank.
Yeah.
See, I think that
I'm with you on that one.
Thank
I'd
you.
certainly
Thank you
would
very
veto.
much.
you guys are wrong. That's a great name.
So let's talk a little bit about this latest album. So it's coming out on Saturday, called Decimal. Obviously, an interesting time to be recording and to be coming out with any kind of music right now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the creation. How's it been making an album during COVID? And it's been a while since your last album. So what was the impetus to get it done now?
Well, we sort of lucked into the timeline in the sense that Tim Lewis, the local music enthusiast and curator, invited us onto his program, and we did a similar format to this, where we did an interview and we performed 5 songs during the interview, and we really liked the way those 5 songs came out. Ryan Cohen over at Robot Dog Studio and the group over there did a fantastic job, and we said, wow, you know, that's 5 songs that it's kind of the seed for something, and then the lockdown happened. I mean, we were in there right in February.
That
and
was
then,
like February. It was like a week or two before, right?
yeah. I mean, there was buzz going about, like, oh my gosh, what's the summer going to hold? And then within the next couple of weeks, everything changed. We started having all of our shows got canceled, and like life changed for all of us at that point. But we had
had
those
5 songs.
But we had those 5 songs, and we had I think $300 sitting in my basement from a show up in Montpelier up at Charlie O's.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so I just got in touch with Ryan and said, hey, this money's not doing me any good. Why don't you take it, and we'll schedule a session when we can.
Yeah, when things open back up, let's come back in.
Yeah, and it opened back up, and we got back in, got 5 more songs done. So the first 5 are live, like single take, one and done, and then we had 5 that we
They're also live.
did a couple of tracks.
No
they are
overdubs-
live.
no
There's no
overdubs on the album.
no
Yeah.
overdubs on any of it.
But we did a few takes on the second.
That's
Right.
true.
Second time around, but no overdubs.
So it's 10 songs, and then we were kicking. It was like the band, the album name is sort of the same thing. Like you kick names around, and there's veto power, and I can't remember any of the other ones. There was like live at, and I was like, let's not do it live at because there's so many live at records, and I felt like it was a little kind of pretentious and wasn't about that.
I think that
And then-
implies an actual live set as well.
Yeah.
Like it implies like a
People.
night at a place.
At a place,
with
right.
people, yeah.
So it is live. I mean, and I was listening to it the other day, and I kind of forgot that it was live. I was enjoying it, and then I said to the guys, I was like, you know what? As much as I like this, it's like I forget that it's not. You know, we didn't take it apart and put it back together. We played it as it is.
Gotta say, it was the easiest album I've ever recorded.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, we walked in for that radio thing, and we were done in an hour.
Yeah, we were in and out.
And it was live, so we were done in an hour, and then we came back for what, 3 hours?
Yeah, maybe.
And
And we were
I
done in
decided
2.5.
not to do any engineering.
Just you
Usually
mastered
I'm
it.
slaving behind the scenes on stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or I mean, when I say other albums I've worked on, not as a musician, but this one went really quick and easy.
as an audio engineer, was that a surprise to you? And when you're recording your own stuff, do you feel like you end up agonizing over it a lot
Oh
more?
yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I torture myself, and my bandmates too. So it was better to do it this way for everybody.
This time.
This
Yeah,
time.
this time.
So how did you settle on the 10 songs that you had? Because I mean, as I said, it's been a long time since you last recorded. So how is this just the amount of songs you kind of gathered in this time, or was it a
we
real
got
agonizing
more.
process of picking them out?
We got plenty of songs.
I wouldn't say agonizing. I mean, it was just sort of like we went over our list and I don't know, we just kind of narrowed it down to these. And we already had the first 5, and then we just were like, let's do. Did we do more than 5 and then pick? Did we did any,
No,
were any on the
5
floor?
and 5.
We did 5 and 5. Okay.
and
Yeah.
5.
So we just did another 5, and then the name
nice,
just seemed natural.
Nice number.
Yeah.
10, you know,
Yeah, 10 songs.
10 songs released on 10/10. There's nice symmetry to it. You
Yeah,
know?
there we go. Well, I'd love to hear another song, maybe from the album or wherever, really. What have you got for us?
What do you think?
Hate reggae, I think.
Yeah, okay.
This one's called Hate Reggae.
Hate reggae, an oldie but a goodie. Ready?
Yep.
Nobody ever really faces the facts. Nobody ever really tells you the whole truth. Nobody ever really buries the hatchet. Nobody ever really truly forgives you. No, they don't. Nobody ever really gets what they want. Nobody ever really wants to be busted. Nobody ever really wants to get caught. Nobody ever really wants to be trusted. No, they don't. And every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Use it against me. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Use it against me. Use it against me. And every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Use it against me. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Every secret is a big fat enemy. Use it against me. Use it against me. Use it against me. Use it against me.
All right, that's Hey Reggae by REDadmiral. So is some personal feelings go into that song?
At some point, probably, yeah.
Any particular beef about reggae?
No, not at all. It's more like it's not a beef about reggae music. I felt like it was a twisted kind of a reggae song. So it's more like a reggae about hating on something, not hating reggae.
Okay.
And the irony of it being that, reggae is such a happy, upbeat sound
Right,
that
it's like
it's a little contradictory.
Hating reggae?
Yeah, find a pissed off
Exactly.
reggae song.
Right, right.
There it is.
So is there any kind of particular cohesion between the tracks and the album, or just generally about the songs that you do sing? Is there a kind of common theme or a common feeling associated with the kind of music that you make?
They're all looking at me. They're like, that one's yours, man. Common theme. Boy, I don't know. I think I gave up a long time ago trying to like not complain. Like a lot of music for me is like a vent and an outlet, and so I just stopped trying to not be negative. Not that they're downer songs, but like they're mostly there's a lot of axe to grind stuff about it. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound. I hope it doesn't sound like that. It doesn't seem like a downer, but it's like upbeat and there's energy. But there's not a lot of like love songs or happy-go-lucky tunes. They're a little bit more. They're kind of edgy, and I'm not really. Hopefully, I'm not that edgy of a person, but that's where it comes. That's how it comes out.
Well, maybe that's why you're not edgy as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your rage wall.
It's my van.
There you go.
One fun thing about Gordon is our songwriter in the band. We write songs, but he's our main songwriter, and it's so funny. Such a great songwriter, in my opinion, and so many of our songs are under 3 minutes. It's incredible. I've never been in a band. I come more from a jam background where you might get a song in
stretch
like
out,
20
yeah.
minutes, under 2 or under 3, 2:30 or something. So anyway, a bunch of our songs are actually quite short, and concise.
It's like kind of
And I
almost
like that.
punk,
Pop.
punky, kind of punchy,
Yeah.
but acoustic at the same time.
Right.
It's a good mix.
Thanks.
Are you all in like different bands as well as Red Admiral?
Not at the moment.
Not at this
Occasionally,
time.
somebody will pick something up
Yeah.
from time to time. But yeah, we've been family guys for years, so that kind of fills up a lot of time and energy.
Well, in 2020 is such a tough time to be an artist. I'm sure a lot of folks in this community can relate that, it's great to have this opportunity to come and play. We have been playing so infrequently that like I'm losing the there's an endurance I have to be able to like really play this strong and articulate the notes well. And without the regular gigs, I'm finding other things to do, and it's nice to have this. I'm really
Yeah, for
happy to
sure.
be here to play some music for some folks.
Yeah, I've definitely got the impression that with the bands coming in are being grateful to have an audience of more of them themselves or the families that they're annoying by practicing
Yes.
in their basement. Yeah, tell me a little bit about COVID. How have you three coped in terms of being able to turn up and practice and work together and share ideas? How's that worked out for you?
We've been really fortunate. Like when we were just talking about that, we're really fortunate to have. I know I've been in situations where finding a place to play to practice has been challenging. And that was the other thing about going from full electric to acoustic, or not having a drummer and like electric amps, is that we can practice almost anywhere. So, any one of our houses, any garage, we're not
Down at the river.
Down at the river. There have been times where it was like there was stuff going on and we just went someplace outside. Like literally just went to a park and like practiced outdoors. And we've been doing that for years. So I tend to forget that that's like it's not like a reason to do this, but at the time it was, because if you're in a 4-piece band with a drummer and a PA and amps, you really you have to rent a place, or somebody's got to have a barn or something. It's difficult. So being more portable was definitely a driver for this. It was like, I want to be able to play anytime, anywhere, and not have to lug a bunch of stuff and be out till 3 a.m.
And playing outdoors has been helpful with the COVID era.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we did a lot of our early practices socially distanced in one of our yards.
In the yards, yeah,
That's
outside.
right.
Yeah, I forgot
And that
about
was our kind of getting reacquainted with each other and playing was out in the yard, socially distanced.
After 2 months of being
But
cooped
now-
up, it would be like, hi.
Now I've just taken these guys into my bubble.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
They become part of your inner circle at this
Yeah,
point.
Right.
that's what it is.
pod.
I mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Inner circle.
Creatively, have you felt that COVID's allowed you to maybe expand on it, or has it become more of a prison and you've had too darker thoughts to be able to do proper work?
I've been excited to this record kind of was a driver. We had half in the bag going in, and so a week or two after we got those mixes back, we hatched the plan. We were like, we should just do 5 more, and so that kind of got us through like thinking about this record, having that on the horizon to be like, let's go in and do 5 more, and then we got together and woodshedded. We were playing in yards and garages and stuff to get ready to do those next 5. So
Well,
yeah, here we are.
I know that speaking personally, this has been a very creative time for me. I've spent a lot of time writing and composing at the house, but I'll sometimes create these sketches and like send them over to John or something just to get some feedback. And I'll realize as I'm putting it together, I'm like, this is dark. I can't. No, the world does not need more darkness in 2020. We need something more upbeat. And I'll just scrap it and then try and find something a little happier to sing about.
Yeah, likewise. It's been real fun. Sam and I've just been kind of doing a little stuff on the side. And, I've got my COVID song, like many songwriters out there. But it's been fun. I actually have taken the time to not only woodshed with theory books, but also to learn some new composing Appleton software. So I've been playing around with making beats on a different way. So it's like a new, for an engineer, it's a new instrument to learn, and a different creative outlet. So for me, that's been a lot of fun and kind of broadened my horizons a little bit from a home recording, composing situation. So make the best of a really bad situation.
Yeah.
I don't usually do I'm not usually interested in doing covers, and I've not been in bands where we were expected to do covers, and we don't usually. I mean, we do, but not as a rule. We do mostly our own material. We'll do covers just because people will like it and it's fun. But so yeah, being cooped up, we turned that up a little bit, kicked some things around. So we've got like a fistful of new cover songs that we never used to do.
Do you think that's because we're kind of craving that familiarity in these uncertain times?
Maybe, yeah. I did a couple covers. I recorded a couple covers just on my own. So many of my friends were live streaming. I did one live stream during at the beginning of lockdown, and then it got to be such like a genre, and I was a little intimidated because everybody I knew was doing it, and they were doing it better than I thought I could do, and I was really insecure. And so I recorded a couple things like that. Just they were covers, but they were covers that nobody would really know except. You know what I mean? They were covers of like friends of mine's band, like songs I like, but they're not like radio songs.
So not just obscure, like very very specifically,
yeah, like personally, like
right.
Bands I know that I'm friends with, or people I know. I'm like, I really like that song that my friend does, and so was really cool and fun. I liked it, but
has the Burlington musical community kind of intermeshed and kind of stuck together in this time?
I mean.
I think so, to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some different shows where different bands have come together and performed together, like the $1 Billion Bash out at the Essex Fairground. That was some really great Vermont musicians coming together. But in general, I think the hard part is that there's really nowhere to play. The venues. What can they do? It's a tough situation all around.
I've seen a couple shows at Camp Mead, like Mile My East, some of them there. They've done a really great job with that outdoor venue.
Outdoors.
Just wherever you can play. And, there's more and more outlets coming online, which is great. I don't know what's going to happen in the winter. But, yeah.
I know that Higher Ground has been circling around Vermont with like a flatbed truck, and I saw Mama E's on the back of that.
Oh, nice.
One afternoon, yeah.
That's great.
I wanted to do a drive-by gig.
Yeah, it was fun. They don't announce it until the morning of, and then you go find them, and they post up in a park, and
that's great.
That's
a whole social distance gig.
It's like the food truck phenomenon, but with bands. We could just contract with like a tow truck company, like a flatbed, right? Tie everything down.
So with the album coming out and COVID being, ever present, how are you promoting? What are you doing for this? How's this getting out into the world? Deathly silent.
Well,
here we are, aren't we?
Yeah,
it's online. It's on. It's everywhere. It'll be on. It's SoundCloud,
Spotify.
It's released. We've released it into the
Bandcamp.
wild. We did the thing, so it should be everywhere. It's not
Starting to populate.
We're available for gigs.
That's right.
So long
Bring
as
your
they're
own bubble.
outside.
We'll go inside.
Well, fantastic. That's about all we got time for. But I'd love to hear one last song before you all pop off.
All right.
Um,
Control, Vices.
Let's do. If we're gonna do one, let's do Control. What do you think? Or do you vote for Vices?
Control's fine.
All right, cool. All right, this song's called Control. All right.
Yep.
hex wrench will only elevate my temperature. You better keep it all head, put the lid upon the display. And you never did remember what you told me about it anyway. Control, control, it's all about control. Control, control, it's all about control. Say, oh. Not ready to control my emotions. I gotta split my spirit and a fear of all commotion. I try to keep it all head, put the lid upon the display. And you just don't remember what you said about it anyway. Control, oh, control, it's all about control. Control, control, it's all about control.
All right, Control by REDadmiral. Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
Thanks so
Tom.
much
Thanks,
for
man. You're
having
saving
us.
Yeah,
our
really
lives. It's so
appreciate
good to
it.
be get out. It's good to get out. It's good to get out.
I'm glad we can be doing this public service to the bands of Vermont.
It truly is.
So catch us next week. We've got Spatula. They'll be coming into the Rocket Shop to talk a little bit about themselves and the music they'll be making. But for tonight, this has been 105.9 The Radiator, the Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and good night.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.